Hello, lovely people, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan astrology report. It's taken me a few attempts to do this video, which isn't normal. But yeah, how are you doing? We had a really tender white wind wave spell, which was the previous 13-day cycle that was all about communication and self-expression. And yeah, within the containers that I'm part of and that I hold, yeah, the thing that it kind of distilled into was tenderness. So just sending love to anyone that's feeling tender. So these reports are based on the Galactic Mayan calendar, which is this amazing 9-month evolutionary map of consciousness. And we journey for 13 days with these different archetypes. There's 20 in total. And we're currently coming to the end of the current spin, which means woohoo! I got back from Portugal, and look, the latest edition of the Galactic Mayan Astrological Diary is here. Very, very happy with it. So this is the 7th edition. And if you've not seen this before, it's a really wonderful, magical tool. So at the start, oops, there is like an introduction to wait a second, an introduction to Galactic Mayan astrology and all the aspects of the calendar and a breakdown of the archetypes. And then you get, for each moon, there's a beautiful poem that shows the essence of each of the moons, along with poems and essences of the wave spells. And then you have a page a day to record your experiences. So journaling's really powerful as a therapeutic tool because it allows us to integrate and reflect and gain a new perspective of our experiences and process things. So in itself, it's really powerful. But then when you've got this astrological overlay, what happens is we can like pour ourselves into the pages and reflect and express. But then when we look at what the energy of the day was, because at the beginning I break down all the archetypes and the tones so that you can understand each day, okay, that's the energy that was playing out. We can see that our experiences are part of this evolutionary code. And what that supports is for us to kind of snap out of, yeah, victim and just feel held in that like cosmic understanding of, we are within an evolutionary chamber, and though our experiences are different, the theme of evolution that's unfolding at every moment on the planet in some cosmically magical way has already been decoded for us. So when we have those moments of like, yeah, when things are really hard or when things feel really expansive, and then we see like, oh, it's the cosmic code that I'm living, it just allows this expansion. So get your copy now. The new cycle begins on the 8th of July, and I'm hand posting all of them this time. So yeah, make sure that you get your copy as soon as, so that you can arrive, so it'll arrive with you at the perfect moment, so you can start the first day of the spin fully gridded in and on. Exciting. So that's that. The 13-day process that we are moving into tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the 12th of June, is with the archetype of the blue eagle. So the blue eagle is blue, so it's all about transformation, but it's all about planetary service, the bigger picture, and planetary service. And to begin with, I just want to speak into planetary service. So in terms of the new age spiritual community, there seems to be like a small pot of the professions or the roles or the jobs that you can do, if you're on the path and working in alignment with the path. Do you hold cacao ceremonies? Are you a musician? Are you a Reiki healer? What's your thing? Select from this limited number of archetypes. But it's not just that, is it? And yeah, I feel that there's two aspects to who we are, in my opinion. I think most of us feel now that there is this like soul aspect of who we are, whether it is that it's an individual soul that's journeyed through lifetime after lifetime, which is kind of what I feel, or whether it is that we're part of collective consciousness and we can like receive information and imprints from, you know, the aspects of the collective that we are. It's kind of irrelevant. We've got this part of us that is like old school and ever knowing, and there's this like stuff that we've been born just innately good at and gifted with and interested in. And then we've also got our human selves that have been really initiated this lifetime, and we've had like a specific set of experiences that puts us in a position to grow into something, you know, to kind of have superpowers in certain areas, or an incredible ability to empathize with certain situations, or an understanding of how to handle certain things because of our experience. So we've got these like two aspects to who we are. But then we bring that into, you know, this notion of planetary service. And planetary service for me is, you know, both those things. It's a bit linked to Chiron for me, which is all about the wounded healer, but it's also that, you know, our experiences create our medicine. So in terms of planetary service and what we are here to bring to the world and how we can best serve the world at this time of transformation and shift, what we're really invited to do here at this time is to feel into both those aspects of who we are. Like, our planetary service isn't a certificate that we gain, it is something that we're bringing to the collective. And, you know, somebody that isn't spiritual can be deeply, deeply, deeply in full alignment to their service. And the other piece of it is that it doesn't have to be about what we do for our job. It doesn't have to be what we do for our, you know, bread and butter. Our planetary service may be in the way that we parent. Our planetary service may be in the way that we support family members or support the community, or what we do for our pets, or, you know, it's so innate that it isn't something that we have to search for to be able to monetize. Pretty cool if we can monetize our planetary service in non-exploitative ways, but it doesn't have to be that. So to serve the planet, you know, the Eagle planetary service, what is it that we are here to bring to the collective? Now, sometimes certain kinds of people, you know, they might be here to bring ideas. So it might not even be anything that connects with another person in the physical. But what lights you up and what inspires you and what fulfills you, I think fulfillment is like the key piece of planetary service. Does it fulfill you? Does it make you feel good? Does it feel right? Does it feel boom? And is it then supporting? And I think this is the thing, you know, it's also planetary service is like, it's the kind of, we're either supporting or we're harming. And sometimes we can kind of be doing a little bit of both. But in terms of our lifestyle can be our planetary service too. You know, what are we doing when nobody's looking? How are we feel, like treating our bodies and our minds and our lives? You know, how are we showing up to things? So the planetary service aspect of Blue Eagle, you know, this Wavespell is going to give us an opportunity to kind of witness and explore this theme of like, what am I here to bring to the collective? What do I want to be doing with my time and energy? What is it that my experiences give me superpowers with? What is it that I've like innately beamed in, understanding or being inspired by or being passionate about? And then combining all of that to be like, okay, if you are someone that's trying to figure this out, which we don't need to be, but this is an opportunity, this Wavespell is an opportunity for us to be like, okay, am I in alignment with my planetary service? And if I'm not in alignment with my planetary service, why? And what needs to tweak so that I can come into alignment with my planetary service? Because, you know, our planetary service, our fulfillment, you know, it is almost like there is a place in our being which is our most honest expression, most aligned expression. And when we can find that space, that place, and kind of reconstruct reality around that, then we're in alignment for all the good stuff. You know, if we're not in alignment, yeah, right, you might be able to go and make a shitload of money, but it's not going to fucking last because you're not embodied in it. So the other piece of this is like the embodiment of the planetary service, and remembering that planetary service is not just this like masculine action, it's the feminine being. You know, what is the transmission that you share with the world? You know, what do you bring? So then the other side of Blue Eagle is about like timing, this bigger picture awareness of being able to see like wide view, not just like what's happening here, but what's happening here. And, you know, we are part of a collective reality, and it's important for us to recognize what's playing out within collective reality because we are a part of that too. But it's about having the evolutionary perspective of what's playing out in collective reality as opposed to the victim story. So again, it's like the planetary service is also our perspective. So how can we stay in expanded perspective that is like, okay, everything happens for a reason, and any kind of shadow experience is always for a potential growth. It's always a doorway to potential growth. It's always an opportunity if we choose for it to be that. So our role, our invitation is to be able to keep an eye on like, okay, so this is what's unfolding now within collective reality. Okay, and I can see that this is being gained by that thing. And just holding that perspective and holding that perspective and holding that perspective. And when we try, like, when we kind of fall into like the zooming out again, and essentially trusting spirit, trusting life, trusting evolution. You know, there's nothing that ever happens that's out of divine order. That's just the way it is. And that can be a fucker to get your head around. It can be a fucker to get your heart around, because it's like, that should not be happening. That should not be allowed to fucking happen, but it's happening. But for the lifetime, that experience or that thing can then become incredible medicine. Another aspect of the Blue Eagle is about timing. So not only this sort of expanded vision, it's like hold the vision, not just in terms of like the collective reality, the vision of what you're wanting to create, of what you're wanting to live, and the remembrance of we are here to create. At the moment, we're in this 13-year process of transmuting the collective pain body, and that's taking up a lot of our energy. But we also are creator consciousness, and we are here to birth things on the planet, and we are here with a vision. So what is the vision for your life? What is the vision for your reality? What is it that you're wanting to live? Like, how do you want to live? How do you want to exist? What do you want to be doing with your time? What do you want to be? How do you want to be? All of it. What, how, why? Holding that vision. And then in the same way as the eagle does, recognizing the perfect moment to swoop into action. A lot of the time, you know, it's really, it's a powerful image, this idea of like the eagle's moment to drop in and eat whatever it's eating. A lot of the time, the eagle is like hanging out in the sky, watching, waiting, being, with an awareness of like scanning, but there is a lot of hanging about and a lot of waiting. And then, in a very calculated, present way, and not shitty calculated, like thought through, it's the moment to act. I'm down, I'm out, I've got the thing, I've done. So in terms of, you know, what it is that we're wanting to be living and the vision of our life, it's also like the majority of manifestation is in the visioning, and then knowing when to act and how to act and doing the thing, as opposed to the notion of you do the thing and then it happens. It's like, no, we hold the thing, we embody the thing, we feel the thing, we wait. because we're not going to fucking waste our energy. We don't need to waste our energy. We can just hang out in the sky. And then in the perfect moment, when the opportunity is ripe, we go in. We take the action. We do the thing. We come into action. Being, action at the perfect moment. And that is then what aligns us. So in terms of, this next 13 days, we're really in this space of getting clear about what it is that we're bringing, how it is that we want to be living, feeling into like, what is my alignment? What does my alignment look and feel like? It always feels like fulfillment. So what is it that fulfills me, and what would my life look like if there was more of that? What is the vision? What's going on in collective reality, and how does my vision complement to the expansion of and more loving expression of collective reality? Like, what's my piece? What's my segment? And is my segment adding to the collective in terms of the new collective reality that we're wanting to birth? And then being ready to take the aligned action at the right moment. And this is another reason, I didn't do this on purpose, it just came in, but this is another reason why this is so phenomenal, because what you get to do within this not only is journal, but you get to look up dates. So you can see, like, in terms of aligned action, I often will talk about yellow seed. So yellow seed is one of the archetypes. We experience the archetype every 20 days. We have a 13-day journey, with the yellow seed at a certain time of the year. And if we're wanting to seed something new in our reality, if we're wanting to share something with the world, if we want to like start something, to seed it, to begin to put it in, yellow seed is the archetype to do that. So in terms of like waiting for the right time, okay, I want to do this thing, I want to share this project, this new work thing that I'm doing with the world. When's the next yellow seed day? Oh, cool. Right. I'm going to share it on that day. I'm going to do it on that day. In terms of, if we're wanting to do some kind of a cleanse or a fast or whatever, the red moon archetype is all about purification. So when's the next red moon day, or when's the red moon wave spell? For everything that we want to do, we can astrologically align it. So not only is it like, okay, you wait for everything to align, you can also foresee, when you use something like the Galactic Mayan calendar, you can foresee the alignment that's coming. So it's about us being really conscious with our reality. It's about us being, the blue eagle is about us being really conscious with how we operate through time, as well as what's the vision, how in alignment with my deepest essence am I, and how do I bring that into fruition. It's also this like, how do we navigate through time and choose the doorways appropriately? If you're in a relationship, you can add your signatures together, you can add your mind signs together and find out what it is that you guys bring together, and then use that day, use that energy, whatever that archetype is a superpower day for you guys to be collaborating, because it's what happens when you guys collaborate anyway. Like, the possibilities are endless, and this is why I fucking love this shit. I'm in my 10th year of living through it now, and what it's done for my life is phenomenal. And the reason that I created the journal all those years ago was because it was like, I need to, it's not about me teaching people things, because it's such an, there is an element of that, there's a technical teaching, but the biggest thing within this framework is it reveals synchronicity. It allows us to experience synchronicity, and our synchronicities are so, the reason that synchronicity is because it's so deeply personal. So through having the opportunity to reflect through journaling, we then get our personal synchronistic awakening revelation. And that's the power of this. And this is when we then are like, we're living in synchronicity. And this is the whole purpose of the Galactic Mind framework and the Dreamspell. It's about supporting humanity. There is a map. that is a synchronized, unified humanity. And we're not operating in mind when we're living through that, we're operating in synchronicity. We just happen to be in the perfect situation at the perfect moment, meeting the perfect person, because we're in alignment with the map. And this is the fucking map. I'm not pointing at the floor, I'm pointing at that. You can't see it when I'm doing that. So yeah, get your copy of this and make sure that it arrives for the 8th of July, which is our next new spin. I send you so much love. Thank you for tuning in with me. We're almost at the completion point of yet another Galactic Mind spin. And yeah, I hope that you're doing all right. If you're feeling tender, it's okay. You're doing good. Tender is where we want to be. And yeah, you're doing great. We're all doing great. And things are going to work out so much better